Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well. I hope you're all having an amazing weekend. And talking of amazing, you're looking amazing. You know what? It's been a year. It's been a year. Nearly to the day. Literally a few hours away from when the Idaho 4 sadly lost their lives. And I think it's very, very important that we take stock. We take stock of the situation, because this is a case that has been... It's been a difficult one for many. Something like we've never seen before. You know, we've heard of the likes of Bundy and Dahmer and all these sort of things, but this has hit differently. We've got 4 young adults where somebody entered into their home and took their lives, literally erased everything and obliterated not only these 4 lives, but that of the families, of the friends, and of those being accused as well, and their families, and anybody connected. The ripples went out and out and out. And we still do not, to this day, have a conclusion, and it could be some time before we get one. We see people in comments of videos and comments of content on other platforms where people are arguing as they argue about what they believe happened, and, you know, is their version of events right or wrong, and is this person guilty or that person guilty, and multiple versions of people's thoughts and feelings. And I think sometimes we lose track of what brought us all here in the first place, what brought us all together, what brought us doing content if you're content creators, what brought you into the comments if you are somebody who follows true crime. And I would like to think that even in the differences that we have, we're all here for the same reason, and that is that these 4 individuals deserve justice. They deserve for the person or people who did this to be brought to justice. And there is an absence of fact here, and in the absence of fact, all we can do is speculate. And we speculate and we talk about it and we discuss it because we do have an investment. We don't necessarily have skin in the game, but we have thoughts and feelings because we are human. And we can't always agree on everything. And sometimes some people, because of who they are, and it's not their fault, it's just who they are, they can't disagree in a manner with which the person they're disagreeing with likes. You know, I can get heated and get pissed off if some people say specific things in certain ways, and that's just because I don't have a massive amount of patience for certain types of people. But I understand, and I think it's important that we sometimes step back and pause for a second and think, do you know what, even though we don't agree, we're here for the same reason, and that is that we have an investment in this, and that is that we want justice. We want somebody to be held accountable. And sometimes that desire for accountability does cloud our judgment. Some people, they will see the accused and see that there is no other option. And for them, it might be just because they trust in the system. And for others, it might be completely the opposite end of the spectrum. And that may be because they do not trust the system. And there can be various reasons for that. Maybe they have suffered an injustice themselves. We don't know that. But people have different reasons for being the way they are and acting the way they are and saying what they say. And I just want people to consider what they say and what they do before they say it or do it. Because again, I would like to believe that we are all here for Xana, Ethan, Madison and Kaylee. It's a tragedy, and it's a tragedy that is still unfolding as we speak. And the reality is, even though some will still not want to hear it, is that the accused person, there doesn't seem to be the evidence out in the public field that would be enough to remove any doubt in everyone's mind. It does remove doubt in a lot of people's minds, but not everyone's. And I think it's important not only for these victims, but their families, that when this is over, it is over. And it doesn't leave any room for misinterpretation, so that the tragedy, even in the event that, say, Brian Koberger is indeed convicted, that people could turn around and continue to not let these victims and their families rest and move on. Again, we're heading towards a year. We have Court TV in a few hours going to be releasing yet another, documentary. And, let's see how they spin certain things or talk about certain things. But again, I just ask that as a community, as the people who take in this content, and the people who get in the comments and they are part of the community, to remember that we are all different and we are all entitled to our opinions. No matter how you feel about it, no matter whether you like it or you don't, we are all human, we are curious in nature, and we do, again, hopefully, do what we do and say what we do for the right reasons. And hopefully that is purely in the pursuit of justice. Now, all I can say at the end of this is I truly hope that the outcome that we get to is the right outcome. And as aforementioned, I hope that that outcome does truly bring closure, and that all of the questions that people have are answered, because there are an abundance of questions that are still unanswered, and I think the majority of us can agree with that. But remember, there are so many victims surrounding this. And even though we say it leaves no stone unturned, which I still stand by, in the pursuit of justice, sometimes it takes us to places that are unpalatable for some. But in the middle of it all, there are 4 people who lost their lives. And their legacy should not be to further create a rift between everybody who has an interest in justice, but to hopefully help people learn to coexist as people with differing opinions and to navigate this together. I know that's probably something that will never happen, but we can live in hope. But rest in peace, Idaho 4. And let's pray for justice. We'll catch you all in the next one.